Hello, how are you? I'm gonna wait a couple seconds to allow people to hop on. This is a fun day for me. And I am Daphne Smith. If you're not exactly sure who I am or where you are, this is my weekly Well Done Life broadcast, if you will. I'm coming to you live. I also know that you may be watching this on YouTube. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed to the channel. And I am here to add value to you. This week, I am going with a theme that I do about once a month, and it's called Ask Me Anything. So I've showed up today, filled up, as one of my mentors, Carrie Oberbrunner, says, and my intention is purely to answer whatever questions you have for me. So I'm giving you the reins, you the control to set the agenda. What is it that you would like to ask me about? I'll talk about anything with the exception of how much I weigh. Okay, gotta have some boundaries. Outside of that, anything is fair game. So again, welcome. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? It's great to have you join us today, all the way from Texas. So that's exciting. Thanks to technology, we can connect across the globe. I was just introducing myself to first-time viewers or somebody who may just stumble upon this randomly once it gets posted to YouTube. Today's topic is Ask Me Anything. And as soon as I get some questions in the comments, I'll ask away. So as people are tuning in and chiming in, please feel free to pop a question in the comments, and I'd love to know where our viewers are from. So I'll kind of start with a philosophy that I have as I'm waiting on some questions to come in. And this is something that I have taught my children. Not really sure where I picked it up, when or how. And those children are now 25 and, help me Jesus, 29. I don't know why they're getting so old. It's making me look old. Anyway, I taught them that if you don't ASK, you don't GET. Now, yes, that's really a biblical principle if you take it to its purest form. Ask, seek, and not. So maybe the ASK and GET is from the DSV, the Daphne Smith version. My philosophy is this: if you don't ask, how will you know? Some people see asking as a sign of weakness or a lack of understanding, possibly even intelligence, resourcefulness. I gotta tell you, those people are wrong. Just straight up, they're wrong. The only way for us to understand how somebody is thinking, what they are feeling, to add to our toolbox and expand our understanding is by asking. So I firmly believe that asking is a sign of intelligence, a desire to learn, a desire to grow. And that is why once a month I like to hop on here, kind of turn it over to the audience, if you will, whoever is watching, and find out, what do you want to know? What would you like to ask me about? And if I don't have the answer, I'll tell you straight up, I don't know. That's also something else to be aware of, is that I don't know is, number one, a perfectly acceptable answer, and number two, a complete sentence, just like the word no. Yeah, sometimes that needs to be what comes out of our mouth is no. And quite honestly, we don't need to follow it up with anything else. However, I don't know isn't, again, a sign of weakness. I love this. Cynthia said, asking is a sign of humility. I'm going to agree with that 100%. It's admitting that we're not perfect, that we don't have all the answers. Hey, we're not supposed to. We were designed, we were created and formed in order to have relationships. And a true relationship is a two-way street. It's not me driving all the time with the person that I'm journeying through life with, be it a work relationship, a marital relationship, a friendship, whatever type of relationship it is, with that other person or those other people sitting quietly in the back seat or in the co-pilot, that's not what a relationship is. A relationship is dialogue between two people. Just like there's a difference, John Maxwell has a book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Took a minute for that title to pop into my head. There's a difference between communicating and connecting, and relationships are about connecting. Have you ever been talked at instead of talked to? In fact, if you've ever experienced that, type that in the comments. Just type in talked at. And if you've been talked to most of the time, great. That lets me know that you're in a lot of healthy relationships. And maybe type that into the comments. Either talked at or talked to. And when we become aware of that, it also can impact our communication style, our ability to connect. That awareness is something that we can consciously and intentionally be aware of. We want to talk to people, not talk at people. Now, if you're a professional lecturer, either a professor or even a pastor, right? It's not open mic. The person at the head of the room is the one sharing a message. That's a little different. However, when we're in connection with people, that relationship, it's got to be a two-way street. So Anne, welcome to Facebook Live. Today's topic is Ask Me Anything. And as I see questions coming into the comments, I'll be sure and do my best to address them. Like I said, if I don't know the answer, I'll be honest. I'll say I don't know. And I will make the commitment to you that I'll find out. I will get an answer. I'll put it in the comments. And if we've got your contact information, then I'll send it to you directly. Good afternoon, Debbie Fox. How are you? And where are you? Remind me where you are, Debbie. I think it's Ohio. I'm not real sure, but I know Cynthia is on here, and she's a Texan and lives in Texas, because not every Texan lives in Texas. Hey, girlfriend Nikki, holy buckets. So glad you're here. I'm going to forever be thankful to you for introducing that expression into my life. And I know Nikki is in Iowa, or at least that's where she's based. And Anne, unless you moved, you are in Texas as well. So I'd love for you to put in the comments where you're from and to throw some questions my way. That is what today is all about. It is me fully serving you and what you want to know. Yes, Debbie's in Ohio. And that's what I thought. I get to meet Debbie in person. Debbie is on my book launch team. And I'm going to be in Polaris for one of the world's largest book signings at Barnes & Noble. Polaris is, I don't know, would you call it a bedroom community of Columbus? And Debbie, bless your heart, you're going to come see me. And I'm so excited to meet you and have other authors and friends meet you and vice versa. So that's super, super exciting. So here I am. I want to answer your questions. If you are on my launch team, as I know Nikki is as well, thank you, my friend. And you crushed that interview yesterday. If y'all don't know Nikki, amazing woman and sister in faith. She has not only a fantastic book, and I don't want to butcher the title, is it because your Facebook is fulfilling your legacy, but I believe it's awakening the legacy within. Nikki, feel free to self-promote and type it in the comments, because your book is fantastic and it's changing lives, just like I have the intention for my book as well. But Nikki has also a radio show, and she interviewed a fellow friend and sister of ours, Kirsten Samuel, in Colorado about her book and about her story. And goodness gracious, it was nothing short of a Bible study. So it was fantastic. And you can find Nikki's radio show. I had the honor of being interviewed by her as well right before my book came out. So thank you for that, Nikki. And I'm just waiting. If anybody's got a question, again, really, I'm going to say the only topic not open for answer is how much I weigh. Okay. You know, we've got to have some kind of boundaries. Without those parameters, we wind up in the ditches. And quite frankly, that's none of anybody's business. I don't even like my OB-GYN to know, right? So anything about the book, about living a well-done life, about, well, I don't know why the sky is blue. So I certainly can't answer that question for you. But if you've got anything that you want to ask, I'm here to answer for you. I'm going to stay live for a few more minutes just to make sure that I serve you well. And I know sometimes people get a little shy about asking, but that's okay. Shy is okay. Shy is actually, Mel Robbins posted a video on this the other day. Shy is a choice, okay? Being an introvert is a character trait. Being shy is a choice. And when we have a choice, if we have one choice, that means we have many choices. Shy is something we can do something about. So I encourage you, if shy is something that you, maybe you don't struggle with it. I was going to say if you struggle with it, maybe some people are comfortable being shy. But if you do struggle with being shy, I encourage you to say, you know what? I'm going to do one brave thing today. In fact, that is one of the subjects I speak on. Release your brave, because your brave is going to look different than somebody else's brave. And that makes me think of another friend of mine. Y'all, I'm telling you, I have some of the greatest girlfriends on the planet. And I have an opportunity to introduce you to one personally next week. But let me back it up because I'm getting ahead of myself. One of my girlfriends, Renee Vidor, is releasing her book later this year. And it is all about comparing and how and why we fall into the comparison trap and what we need to do to become free from that. You know, it's nowadays with social media, which is a blessing and a curse, as are most technology advancements. It is so easy to compare, right? I know some people refer to Facebook as fake book because they don't believe everything somebody else posts. Then again, why not? Is that maybe a reflection on the believer? Why not just focus on the positive things? In fact, Nikki blessed my morning today with a very positive attitude and statement. And I thought, you know, I don't even need caffeine. But as you can tell, I've had some by now, just a little bit. I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here with you today to pour into you if you desire to be poured into. So one of the things I want to do is I want to be respectful of your time. And I do that by trying to be concise and by not rambling too long, ramble a little bit, because that's how my creativity expresses itself and how I'm energized. And I hope that I pour into you. I want to jump ahead to next week. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that once a month, I have what's known as a featured female segment. And this month, my featured female is going to be soon to be released author Brenda Hare, also in Texas. So maybe we got a Texas theme going on today. I don't know. Brenda wrote a book that will be coming out literally in days from now. And her message is one that is so important. So she's going to be my featured female next week. And she is who I want to give a shout out to. That is something that I do every week, whether it's me answering questions, whether I have a specific topic that I'm speaking on, featured female, third Thursday, whatever the week is, I really want to be intentional about gratitude and giving a shout out to someone. So I'm giving a shout out and a little bit of a teaser about Brenda. I drove down to Texas last week. She welcomed me into her home. We have had less than 5 conversations. I've met her only one other time, and that was almost a year ago. And she said, girl, come on, stay at my house. So opening up your home, Brenda, thank you so much. Joining me on an impromptu road trip, a mini road trip. We just went an hour, but that was fun. You jumped on that bandwagon. And as a result, we met Cynthia. How cool was that? Talk about God ordained. I believe life is a tapestry, and God sees the beautiful picture. He sees the front of that tapestry. We see the back of that tapestry, all those little broken threads and how they weave together. And sometimes they don't appear like they're going anywhere. Sometimes all we see are the disconnections. But God, the creator of all, he sees the beautiful picture. And someday we get to see that too. Sometimes we get a little glimpse, but eventually we'll see the whole picture and the way everything was woven together to fit together to create what he designed and intended. So with that, y'all, it's the top of the hour. I invited you to come have lunch with me, virtual lunch together, but it's time for me to chew, and I'm not going to do that on camera. And y'all probably have things you need to do, places you need to go, lives to impact. So I want to thank you for being on the, not on the call, but joining me Facebook Live or watching this video on YouTube. I'm going to keep monitoring this feed, and if I see some questions that get popped in later, I'll be sure to answer those as well. Between now and next week, when we join together again for our featured female here, 11:45 Central Standard Time, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the YouTube channel so that you can stay up on all of the vlogs that are getting posted. And I also want to remind you to live today and every day for a well-done life. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.